In this video, I'm going to share with you a media report on the interest of men in women on dating sites versus the interest of women in men. I want to first show you this video and then discuss with you how much the media tries to tell you part of the story with the intent of misleading you, of changing the facts, omitting the most important information, and trying to force feed their false narrative onto the person who fails to read between the line and the person who's, shall we say, more gullible and less the questioning type. I'll let you first watch this very short video, and then I will tell you what the real truth is versus the rubbish that they're feeding you and the key important parts that they're leaving out for the sole reason of misleading.
Most men find most women to be at least somewhat attractive. In contrast, women on average view 80% of men as below average in attractiveness. Another study found that on the dating app Tinder, men liked more than 60% of the female profiles they viewed, while women liked only 4.5% of male profiles. I didn't realize that 80% of men as below average. That's quite off.
It is, because, you would think like 50%, right? It's sort of like 50% above and 50% below, but to have 80% rated below is pretty grim.
Because of the increased risk women carry, they tend to be choosier about their partners. In contrast, men are less discerning.
Okay, now you saw this video. What they're not telling you is that it's not that men like women that much more and consider them attractive and beautiful and worthy to buy a ring for. It's just that they're considering them good enough for sexual release. And men, typically on dating sites, they have that courage due to not being seen and not being in face to face. So they just swipe right on all of them. And this website, this report is knowingly omitting the fact that just because a man swipes right on a woman, it does not mean that he likes her more. It just means that he's doing throwing darts, in the dark, hoping one of them hits the target. They basically swipe right on nearly all of them, hoping that amongst the ones that respond back, they could pick and choose the ones that they really want, and even then, mostly 95% of the time, just for sexual gratification and short-term fun rather than actually marrying them. Whereas women, when they are looking at these dating sites, they're in their own fantasy world, hoping that the ones that they're swiping right on are future potential husband. So it's the difference of, having a drink for, one drink for fun, or renting a hotel room, or renting a car because you want to go from point A to B, rather than actually buying an automobile because you're going to keep it for the next 4 or 5 years and you're spending $50, $60, $70, $80, $100,000 on it. Complete 100% misleading of the facts and what really is the case, and they're making it look like, oh, see, women are so much more valuable that 60% of them are considered desirable by men, whereas only 4.5% of men are considered desirable by women. Do you see how there are two ways of interpreting the data that you're given by the media? You see how they lie and mislead? They don't tell you the truth. How many of those 60% of men are willing to marry these women, are willing to go beyond just sexual fun? Less than 0.01? That would be accurate, I'd say. And these men, they have nothing to lose. They're horny, basically, for lack of a better term. They're sitting in their underwear and tank tops at home, and you're just swiping right. Yeah, I'll swipe right on 99.9% of them, and whoever answers, I can just pick and choose who I really want to go out with if I go out with them. So let this be an example of how misleading the media is and how important it is to read between the lines and not just believe and accept what you're told. All the best.